Here's the problem with being the child of immigrants. All of my life, I felt like I don't know enough about my roots. Not because my parents didn't teach me, but because there's still so much we don't know, because so much has gotten erased. And I've noticed that this desire to want to know more has got me doing things like packing my bags, hopping in my car, and driving across the border, just to visit a library. But not just any library. I'm talking about the Library of Congress, a place with over 70 million manuscripts and the largest rare book collection in North America. So come with me as I try to get access to rare books that will help me learn about my Tamil heritage. Okay, so the time is now almost 11 p.m. I just got to Washington D.C. I just got to my Airbnb. I left Toronto around 10:30 in the morning. It's been a very long drive, and I still don't know if I'm going to be able to access the books that I want to see tomorrow. I hope I can read them and I can access them because I've made it all the way to Washington D.C. just for this. Okay, so here's the plan. It's currently 9 a.m. It's the next day. If you're wondering why I'm wearing my hat inside, it's because it is freezing in here and the heating doesn't work. Besides that, I'm going to try and get to the library because it opens at 10 a.m. and I'm going to try to speak to a human, and hopefully they'll be able to help me and let me know if I can actually book a private reading room and get access to the books I need. Because I don't think it's wise to just sit around and wait in this cold Airbnb for a response from somebody. So that's what we're going to try to do, and hopefully it works out. I'm semi-hopeful. Semi because I think I'm not also feeling well, so my morale's a little bit down. But it's okay. We're going to try to fix that. And the first thing we're going to do is get breakfast. Okay, so I've made it to the Library of Congress, and if you didn't know, there's actually 3 separate buildings that are all part of the Library of Congress. And the building I need to get into is the Thomas Jefferson building. That's the building with the Asian division, and this building also will allow me to get a reader's identification card. But now I'm a little nervous because apparently you need tickets to go into the Thomas Jefferson building because it's packed always. So I might not even be able to go talk to someone if I can't get into the building. So let's see what happens. Okay, I think this is the coolest and prettiest library I've ever been to. You guys have to see this. Let's see if I could get my reader's identification card and get into the Asian reading room. Now the one thing is I can't bring any of my bags in there, so my laptop, my notebook, and my dictionary I'll have to take by hand, so I'm not going to be able to bring my camera, but let's see if we can sneak some footage. Thanks to the help of the lovely staff, I made it inside. This is honestly so cool, but one day is not enough to read everything. So, I'm back. And let me clarify some things. So it turns out anybody who wants to read or request books needs to register for a reader's card. And if you put in a request for a book, it can take anywhere from an hour to 24 hours, depending on where your book is stored. And then you could sit at a desk in one of the many reading rooms like this to do your research. You can't tell from my face, but this was so surreal. I've dreamt about reading about these topics and visiting a library like this for years. I honestly felt like I was in a movie. Sometimes I used to think it would have been easier if I was just born in the motherland. I wouldn't have this identity crisis and feel so disconnected from my culture. But if that were true, then I wouldn't be who I am today, because I would have an entire different set of experiences and perspectives. And I wouldn't be able to go on adventures like this. If you want to see what else I did during my time in DC, be sure to check out the vlog linked below.